I'm Mike from St. Thomas Economic Development here at the Balaclava Street School with another little update. Okay, good morning, Joe. Here we are standing in front of a beautiful old building in St. Thomas.
Isn't it beautiful and ornate? I mean, they used to build buildings like schools in a fun way. This is a great building to stand in front of, and the next purpose for it in St. Thomas and the saving of this heritage building is pretty critical to us. When the school board decided they didn't need it anymore, we immediately said that can't fall into disrepair. Let's make sure we end up with it. And we can move forward with some great supportive and affordable housing for the people of St. Thomas.
That's right. So this is an old building, but it's going to have a new purpose very soon. Can you tell us a bit about what's going to happen to this building?
Well, in collaboration with Indwell, who's helped us with a lot of supportive housing and affordable housing in our community, we're building a complex here that will have 78 new tenants when the building is done. The old school will be preserved, and the heritage pieces of it will all be preserved. The 1980s addition on the back of this school will be taken off. It's an old gymnasium and such, and a bit of an apartment tower will be put on the back, well hidden by the historic building. And we'll expect to put that many tenants into this building in the next short period of time.
That's fantastic, Joe. And that's a lot of people, especially for a community the size of St. Thomas. What kind of impact will this have in terms of moving the city towards our goals for managing the challenges that we have in our community?
Well, you know, I've got the world's greatest council, but we've been singularly focused on eliminating homelessness in our community. And we've done such a large job on that. We are, unlike other communities, aren't seeing visible homelessness. Our emergency shelters carrying the load at the moment. But as we continue to work with Indwell on permanent housing for homelessness and affordable parts of housing, we will come very close with that number to being the first community around that's been able to say we've effectively eliminated homelessness. We've got lots of work to do. We'll need to carry on. It doesn't stop. It's a moving target. But we'll, with projects like this, close to our downtown, saving heritage buildings and giving people the servicing and the homes that they deserve.
That's incredible. Even to be approaching, some concept of a finish line for a challenge like this is truly, we would have thought it was impossible years ago, I think.
Agreed. Look, it was a daunting task that we've been able to deal with over the last really 5 years, and we're not done yet. This construction will take a period of time. There's other great projects like the Eastwood project and the Tiny Hope project that are going on also, but we're seeing such incredible results with the station complex, with the Indwell and the lofts, that we just have to keep working with a group that does this much good in our community and can carry on doing so.
It seems like Indwell has been a partner with the city on a majority of these types of projects. How have they been to work with as a partner?
Well, incredible. I mean, when you can get a housing in place that includes 24-hour mental health support, 24-hour addiction support, 24-hour support for their tenants, it means that not only are we offering the four walls that people need that's called housing, but we're offering the next step towards the independence of true housing from graduating from Indwell may be a great way to put it, but they've been an incredible organization to work with, and they're able to offer what people need.
That's great. Well, Joe, thanks for the work that you and council have done towards getting this project to where it is now, and I look forward to being back here to cut the ribbon.
Oh, me too. Yes, can't wait. Right there. No,
Sounds great. Okay, we're now inside the Balaclava Street School, and we're joined by Julie from Indwell. Hey, can you tell us what your role is with Indwell?
Sure. My role is Community Engagement Coordinator, and I work to bring support and bring communication about what Indwell is doing in the community.
That's great. And so we want to talk about this project specifically, but before we do, could you just kind of give us the high-level view of what types of projects Indwell does and what your focus is as a group?
Sure. Indwell is a Christian charity. We've been around for 50 years, and we create affordable and supportive housing. So we've been in St. Thomas for 4 years now. We have 60 units between two different buildings. And our housing helps move people from homelessness or precarious housing into a place of stability and better health and wellness. So we do that by having on-site supports in the buildings, like nurses, food security, addiction support, housing support, people that help meet people where they're at and help them move to better health and wellness.
And to be doing that for 50 years, it's obviously been a very effective strategy and has had a huge impact in the various communities that Indwell is in. Tell us a bit more about this project. So this is a big disused building in the city of St. Thomas, but it's going to become something new. What's going to happen here?
I'm super excited about this project. This is the Balaclava Street School. It was built in 1898, so it has been part of this community for many, many years. Generations of children have been schooled here. It closed and then became an adult ed center for a little while, and then it's been empty for the last little bit. And we are going to take this building, the old building itself, and create 36 units here in this space. And then where the gym is, we're going to tear the gym down and create an addition in that space for an additional 42 units. And they'll all be studio or one-bedroom apartments.
Wow. So in total, how many units will be on this site?
78 units.
So you're more than doubling the number of units that Indwell will have in St. Thomas.
Indeed, yes. And when we came to St. Thomas, we've always worked very closely with the city of St. Thomas. We signed an agreement with them to create 150 units of supportive housing in the community. And this is the next step of that agreement. So it's made a huge difference in the ability for us to move quickly in St. Thomas, to have the support of the city in so many different ways, from the mayor to all of the folks that work in social services. It's just been fantastic.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, I understand with Indwell's approach, there are sort of different steps and stages of housing that people might work through on their journey out of homelessness. Can you tell me a bit more about what those stages look like and then where this project will fall on that scale?
Sure. So as you can imagine, if you have been homeless, you are in a state of chaos in your life. You are in a state of survival. And so often when people move out of homelessness, they're really still in crisis. And so when we first came to St. Thomas, we opened Railway City Lofts on Talbot Street. And this is where folks who are at the sort of most vulnerable place in their lives, that's kind of an entry place for them. And then when we opened the station a few years later, about half the people that were at Railway City Lofts moved to the station. So they were in a place of greater stability, where they could take on the responsibilities of being a tenant. This space will be this building itself, Balaclava, will have the same level of support as at the station. So what we call enhanced support with a pretty big staffing complement. The addition will actually have a different entrance and be separated in some ways, and it will be for those who are the most stable, and smaller staffing complement, but still support. Folks who have struggled with mental health often need support even when they're well. They need support to stay well. And so that's what we aim to do.
That's great. And great to see Indwell continuing what is clearly a very mature and tested approach to helping people through this. Now, this is obviously a very interesting building. There's not a lot of public infrastructure that's built like this with these types of architectural flourishes and things like that these days. Are there any notable features of this building that will be retained through this project?
Well, we've done several historic and heritage buildings, and we really love them. It kind of fits with our value system, right? About reclaiming and renewing. And so for this building in particular, we've got these wide hallways, the tall ceilings. There are tin ceilings in some parts of the building. A lot of it has been destroyed over the years, but we are going to take those tin ceilings down, clean the paint off of them because they probably have lead paint on them. And where we can, we're going to put them back up again. So we're excited about that. The stairways have beautiful banisters, and so it'll just be nice to have that heritage and that space. It's very clearly a school. You know, you come in here and you can just picture all the kids running up and down those stairs, and soon it will be a place of home and of welcome again.
It's interesting to see sort of little bits left over from the school like this. How does this make you feel in the context of the project that's happening here?
Yeah, well, certainly the word belonging is one that resonates well with me, and it's part of our value system. Is we believe that everyone belongs and that everybody deserves a home. And so I think when we believe that as a community, which I think St. Thomas has embraced in a big way, then projects like this can be more successful, because it's not just about Indwell or even about Indwell in the city, but it's about all of the organizations that we work with, many that continue to support the tenants once they're in this building, and as well neighbors and volunteers who are part of this community and the back and forth that we have.
Well, that's great. And I understand as well, there was a tradition at the school in the attic where graduating students would go and they'd write their names up there. So I think we're going to venture up there in a minute, and we'll get some footage that we'll share of that. And maybe that will be preserved as well in the school.
I'm not sure what's going to happen with that wall or with that space, but we certainly want to celebrate all those students who were here and all those names. It's really special to see that over many, many decades.
Great. Well, hey, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. It'll be great to see this project sort of through various stages, so we'll come back and check in on how things are going. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Like and subscribe on YouTube, and stay tuned for another little update coming soon.